here to protect my cup. Now they don't really talk about us. Now they don't really talk about love. Honestly, they ain't never seen too much. What's love to a guy with a...
The city of Seattle, known for coffee, grunge music, and, of course, rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild CenturyLink field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
1st down, Vikings.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on the play.
You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played. Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He's going to go deep for Beasley. He rifles one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared, but I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
Good gain by Chris Carson. Picks up a first down, and you just have to love his running style. Talk about a straight-ahead guy, no-nonsense type of a runner. He's averaged 82 yards a game over the last 2 seasons and had 1,230 yards on the ground in 2019.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Second and 10 now from the 27.
Just like that. Just like that.
And a first carry now for Hyde. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Eric Kendrick.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good.
7, Vikings nothing. Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
It's a game
23 yards on the play.
First down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick.
Incomplete.
But instead it falls down incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion. Now Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
First down.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Play fake, Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
They work again from the 38 on second and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a third and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Fourth down, Cousins. And that's caught by Beasley. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
A gain of 15.
How about them biting off 15 yards there on the fourth down attempt and keeping the drive alive? On first and 10, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. Now Cook hit and he lost the football. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on fourth down, a change of possession anyway.
Retains possession.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
The kick is good.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They run it with Carson, and he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, it's Wilson. Able to get this to Gordon. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Steps away to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this belongs to the Vikings. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Jamal Adams.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Handoff, it's Madison, and he stopped immediately there.
The ball carrier.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. These two teams all tied after one.
7-7.
2nd and 6. Throwing is Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they could at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, It's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one, so you look over at the sideline. There's the head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it, field goal time.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
One of my favorite safeties in the league is Harrison Smith. His ability to support in the run game, as we just saw there, that's key, but also can cover deep as well.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I'll tell you, as a defender, you've got to make life as difficult as possible when you're trying to cover a big tight end, because you know his catch radius is huge. He's unable to pull that one in, though.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goal.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. After the interception, here's Wilson. And complete here to Carlos Hyde. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Carson. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
On the carry. He's taken down at the 33-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll toss it out to Carson. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 11 yards there, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Watch the screen. Flags. More team. Set. 40.
First down, a run with Hyde. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
When you're trying to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Slam. He's crossing. Let's go double count right here. Double count.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Wilson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20. From the gun, Wilson. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And that is no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Let's go, kid. It's going to be a long day. Check. Through. Hey, we're good.
From the 41, Cousins. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
He's checking. Gotta go, in and out, let's go. Hey, alert. Hey, alert 3. 36 power.
Wilson underneath, he's got Olsen, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
41-yard
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
No pass. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55. Check that.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
A gain of 8.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Wilson. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Myers able to knock it through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
5-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively.
And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Come on. Well left. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Complete here. It's Hyde. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Seahawks.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
5-yard line.
From the 5, here's 2nd and 2.
Hey, check. Undercrush.
They'll give to Hyde. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for first and goal.
14, run it. Check 15.
To throw is Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Will Disley, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's now 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Myers' kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
5-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be a good return. He's out of bounds at the 12.
So conventional football. Football 101 tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. Second and 5.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike. Blue there.
Throwing is Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. Yeah, they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They run it again with Cook. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
They'll run with Cook. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Cousins now. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Jaron Reed, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Down and goal.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. And he'll be brought down at about the 4. He didn't get in, nowhere close. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. We have not seen much on offense from either side these last few drives. It has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for 10. Tendency breakers right now. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And he almost had it defensively. It could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
3rd down and 13.
Now Wilson back into his end zone. It's caught, Lockett. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's
pass complete. but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still, no yardage. Okay.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Cousins now from the 50. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, certainly not often that we see an offensive team kind of breathe a sigh of relief when a ball is tipped and falls incomplete. But when you've thrown 4 interceptions in the game, that actually counts as not progress, but counts as something good because it didn't go against your team, and now he gets a chance to make another throw.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Back at his own 49.
3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. Throwing. Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Now on 4th down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
14. Check 52. Under 10. 10. All goes special. Check. Bring out. Bam. Sponge. Check.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson, and he'll take this one down to about the 40.
On the carry.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam through the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
They'll keep it on the ground. Carson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
2-yard loss.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He finds his running back, Hyde. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
For the field goal, a 52-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Minnesota.
And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. The Vikings on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Buying time to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 17-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
1st down, Vikings.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Right here. 57 to Mike. Gun. Double dog. That's the way. 57's Mike. Mike 57. Listen to me. Switch. 57's the Mike. Mike 57. I'm here all day. Hey, check. Mike.
From the gun, here's Cousins. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Touchdown.
Irv Smith Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again.
The kick is
And
good.
it's up and good.
Makes the score Seahawks 16. Vikings.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score, but bottom line, they are still on top with the football, and a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A. Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play.
This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Hey, that QB's trash.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
3rd down,
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. That's pulled in at the 32. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
16 yards.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
Again, it's Cook. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
And it's 3rd down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Cousins. Flushed out right. Then he finds Beasley, complete. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
And 4.
Cousins. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. The end result, 21 yards. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Cousins to the end zone, but it's incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost them.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. If he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. Bailey's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
They didn't get out of bounds, but that's okay. They need one more just like that to give themselves a chance.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Metcalf, incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw. He goes right back to Metcalf, this time complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35.
The 35-yard line.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle.